So today we are going to learn units and measurements and dimensions. So we get the knowledge of the surroundings through the sense of vision, that is what we see, through hearing and touch, five fingers through touch and through smell. But we cannot measure it all accurately by personal judgment, which is why we need to study quantities or physical quantities which are uniform all across the world. Okay, so let's say that is how it all started. So first it started, the measurement, the process or the concept of measurement came up when people started asking for food and clothes. So how much do we need, it was the question, and that is when they defined units as relative to their, with respect to their body parts. For example, this person, let us say one hand was the unit. So this person says, I want two hands cloth, or two hand cloth, meaning that he wants two times the cloth as big as his hand. So he asks for two hands of cloth. So hand was the unit. But let us say this person is really huge and tall, but what about this teeny tiny person who has a relatively small hand? So considering that the unit doesn't change for anyone, the unit has a discrepancy here, meaning that when this person asks for two hand cloth, he gets a relatively smaller size of cloth, which won't really suffice him. He can't really make anything out of it. So or let us say this person, this big gargantuan person, asks for 3 feet land, so he gets three big pieces of land. Whereas this small person, when he asks for land, he gets two small pieces of land. So that is where comes the concept or the need for uniformity in the units we use to measure. So that is one requirement, and the other parameters are that it should be easily available, and it should be invariable, meaning that it shouldn't change with space and time. So let's say 1 meter doesn't shrink in France with respect to India, or it means the same all across the globe. So 1 meter remains same in France, in India, in US, in Germany, everywhere. So, and also it should be universally accepted. So let us say that means that it should be acknowledged by all the countries across the globe. For example, when you ask for 1 meter cloth in, let's say, a country X, and they say they don't know what meter is, so that is where a discrepancy arises. And then comes it should be reproducible and non-perishable. So it shouldn't perish with time and environment, and it should be we should be able to reproduce it as and when required. So there were three major types of units, which were, we commonly call it CGS, which includes measurement in centimeter for length, gram for weight, and seconds for time. MKS, which includes meter for length, kilogram for weight, and seconds for time again. And FPS, which included feet or foot for length, pound for weight, and S or seconds for time. So that these were the three widely accepted kinds of units. But then when the English scientists tried to, when scientific discovery started coming up, and there was a need of publishing them, there was a problem, because the FPS was limited to Britain, and CGS was something, I don't know, it was where used someone else. So when the two of them tried to exchange their knowledge, they couldn't understand what the system of measurement was. So that is when, to make communication easy between scientific communities across the globe, um, system the in 1960, if, at the 11th International General Conference of Weights and Measures in Paris, a common system of weights called System International was accepted, which we call SI today. So SI units is something that is widely accepted across the globe, and um, it has replaced other systems and has simplified exchange of scientific data between different parts of the world. So that is for the first part. Thanks for watching. In the next part, we are going to learn fundamental and derived units. Thank you.